9 podcasts.
Welcome everyone to The Trade-Off, your daily podcast giving you the latest insights into this year's AFL trade period. Myself and Matthew Lloyd will try and wrap up the day's action and have a look forward, all thanks to Tyre Powers. Great race sale, buy 3 and get 1 free on selected Curnow passenger, car and SUV tyres. As I mentioned, the Essendon legend joins me every single day. Matthew Lloyd. Evening, Lloydie.
Evening, Jim. It's been a busy one today.
It has been, and I'm going to kick off actually with not trade news first. We'll get this story out there first because it's a great time to drop it if you just wanted to skim through all the news cycle, but it should be big news. Nathan Buckley, the Collingwood legend and former Collingwood coach, joins Geelong as an assistant coach before going to Tasmania by the looks of it. Looks like to get some flying hours back before he takes the big job.
Oh, really smart by all parties. So for Geelong to get such an experienced coach in under Chris Scott and some fresh ideas for Nathan Buckley to build his resume before coaching Tasmania most likely. And so it's a win for Tasmania, win for Bucks, win for Geelong. It's just a fantastic footy story.
Yeah, and it gets him, as you said, some fresh ideas. A one-team town, of course, down there in Geelong. Tassie's going to be a one-state, one-team. So you get a bit of the feel of being part of the community as well. So, a bit of a different look down there. So well done to Bucks and Geelong, of course. A great signing. Well, let's get to the big news, of course. Each time we've discussed what's been happening in the trade period and there's been no offer, no official trade. Well, Hawthorn has tabled its first offer to Essendon. Maybe the last offer, but it is the first offer. And Lloydie, as it stands, pick 9, a future first, a second rounder this year or next, take your pick, and Henry Hustwaite. Do you think that gets the deal done?
I don't think so. It's been mixed across the day. Some saying it's over some Merritt. Some are saying, you're kidding, aren't you? Because it's just hard, as we touched on, when it's a good club like Hawthorn and Geelong where you finish so high, there's still going to be no pick there that's, you hear Petrarca getting pick 7 or 8, you know what I mean? For him, whereas Merritt's pick 9 will blow out.
Yep.
A future first. Well, I expect Hawthorn to be top 4 or 5. So there's never that pick that really gets you a 6-time best and fairest winner. He's someone that will help Hawthorn maybe win a premiership next year. So it's a good start, and I think it's something to build upon over the next 24 hours.
Yeah, you're right. So pick 9, this is just going off Cal Toomey, who you and I both rate incredibly highly as far as he picks the draft. He's got 2 Gold Coast Academy kids, got a Lions Academy kid. We're going to probably have Harry Dean, of course, in there. So conservatively, that's pick 13. 13. Future first, you're 15 plus, really, if we expect Hawthorn to go well. You're probably going to take the second rounder the following year because we've already discussed how much this year's draft will get pushed out. And Henry Hustwaite, he's got some talent and some ability, but he can't crack that Hawthorn side. So I know in my tough call, I'm going to discuss a bit further regarding the Hawks, but they'd want someone better either added onto that or a different player as well. The Swans have tabled their offer. I think it was smart media management from the Swans, Lloydie, because it wasn't secretive. It wasn't wheeling and dealing. They put him out the front of Swans facilities. Here's the front door, Charlie. Everyone try and get you really excited. So they've tabled their offer to Carlton. It is pick 11, 2026 first rounder, Ollie Florent and Will Hayward. But the Swans want clearly Curnow and a pick 22, which is the Silvani compo pick, back in return. Your initial thoughts?
I think that the core senior players, first of all, I like that Hayward's part of it. That's what Hawthorn don't have. Hayward is a top 15 player at Sydney, or even maybe top 12 player at the Sydney Swans. So that's what Hustwaite doesn't get a game at Hawthorn. So Hayward's a good quality player. Florent, this time last year, you'd say it's another one who's in their best 15 players, but had a poor year this year, but could be in Carlton's best, provides run, carry. So I think they'll get there, whether that pick's taken out of it at the end of it, whether you don't get the pick back. But I think for what he does for Sydney, like Joel Amati, Hayden McLean, Logan, they're just not good enough. Whereas I think Curnow could kick 70 goals next year and be the biggest thing in Sydney. So I think Carlton adds a lot of depth to their list, and Curnow can really help the Sydney Swans.
I'm really fascinated by this pick 22, and maybe it's just most people go, why would you care about it? But I'm just looking at it. is there something else involved with that pick 22? Like, is there being some wages for Ollie Florent being paid for by the Swans? But then you say, well, Curnow is going to be a lot, because if you do pick 22, and I know I'm isolating him, but you should look at the broader deal here. So pick 11, but then you're giving back pick 22. So you're essentially doing a pick slide.
Yeah.
The 26 first rounder, if the Swans expect to be good with Curnow, we just spoke about that. That's really a pick that's going to be 15 and going out. And then Florent and Hayward, you're going to pay for their wages. They're good. They add some depth. Like if you're Carlton, that pick 22 sort of changes it a little bit.
Yeah.
So if that was to be dropped, unless there's something else attached to that, like as far as they might be picking up some wage, or I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, and the other part is Florent, someone who Sydney have thrown up, and do Carlton want him? So that's the other aspect. So could it potentially be another player that's not Ollie Florent, where you're not picking up his wage, but could it be another player that's at Sydney?
I'd, if I'm Carlton, and again, his name hasn't been floated, but I'm more looking for, if you're going to go for that middle range player, because obviously we're not talking about the big guns, Blakey and Warner and all these sort of guys. Like I'd be wanting to know, well, Roberts, because what I need at Carlton, I need ball use. I need some run off half back or out on the wing, or even pinch hitting through the midfield. I need really good kicking, and we know Matt Roberts is a good kick. Again, he's not being tabled, but that's what I'd be looking for, and that's why you probably highlighted Hayward. That's something that I'm actually looking for. Yeah,
and that's exactly what will need to happen, I think, for both these deals to get done, where both Sydney and Hawthorn don't want to have to do it, but they just have to get their men, and their men may win them a premiership. So someone's got to look like they've lost the deal. Everyone wants to win. No one wants to look silly in these deals, but for Hawthorn and Sydney to get genuine A-grade All-Australian players, awards everywhere, 2-time Coleman medalist, 6th best and fairest, you've probably just got to go that extra mile to get them.
And then back yourself that you can find another one with draft or future trade periods. Gold Coast traded Braden Fiorini to Essendon. Essendon accepted that trade as well for a round 3 pick tied to Essendon in the 26 AFL draft. So Fiorini gets across, clears a bit of cap space. Not huge cap space, but some cap space for the Suns, because obviously they're trying to get Christian Petrarca in and maybe Jamara Ugle-Hagan, although Ugle-Hagan won't cost them much as far as dollars go. CJ Chenkoth-Giath has agreed to a 3-year deal with Melbourne. A trade needs to be facilitated, though, so the Hawks said he can go look elsewhere. Melbourne said you can come play for us and we'll make that a 3-year deal. And North Melbourne won't be pursuing Lecalier. He's expected now to stay at GWS with a 3-year deal being offered by the Giants. North Melbourne didn't want to explore Stephen May, didn't want to explore Frosty, didn't want to explore Lecalier. They're happy with their backline key defensive group, which probably is a debate in itself.
And that's a talking point for today, Jimmy, is the clubs who have not partaken in this trade period. And it's a time to improve your list. And it's not just seen to be doing something for the sake of it, but love to have known what you just said with North Melbourne. What have they done to try and improve that defence?
Yeah, because you're not going anywhere with Logan Tucker.
No.
And Core, he fights a good fight down back, and I get that. He's probably a solid citizen. I think Comben is showing stuff. The 2 Dawsons there have shown enough, but they just haven't played enough football. So do they think Whitlock is going to be eventually the answer? He can play forward or back. The young lad that they traded the future pick to Richmond. So it would have been nice to know the plan from North Melbourne. I think North Melbourne supporters would say the same. The Adelaide Crows, I think we walked away from their final series going, they're short in the midfield, another player, and you could see Jordan Dawson couldn't do it all on his own. We know Rankin comes back into that side. It's showing that they would like another one, but they're going to have to hope that young Draper pops, their high draft pick. They also want Saligo to get better as well, so some internal improvement. I want to ask you about the Dogs. Buku Kamas was a player that looks like he's trying to get out, but they're not making much noise about anyone coming in.
No, I just wonder whether they can put 5-6 kilos on Croft, whether they go, okay, rather than get those guys who have been in and out of their own team, have we got enough? So I think from a Tools perspective, whether they can just remodel things a little bit rather than loading up with Darcy, Croft, and Norton all down their one end. Can we, because they have lost obviously Liam Jones and so a few talls. Bustling have really struggled, so they have to improve it somehow. They must think they've got it within because they haven't tried to do too much at the trade table.
They're trying to get young Butterick there, the Gold Coast Sun, but he's a small defender as well. The Tigers, it looks like they're still just committing to the plan of youth through the door. They've got a couple of those higher picks. They'll entertain offers if someone gives them a good offer. I always find it every year, Lloydie. It's the first journo to rush to whoever's got the number one pick and said, "Are you open to trading it?" And every year they say, "Yeah, we are." Well, of course, everyone's open to trading the number one pick if you're going to give them a Godfather offer. Lloydie, we played this yesterday. Yes or no? Quick last prediction for if they get traded or not before tomorrow's deadline. Yes or no? I'll do the Zach Merritt one this time. Yeah. I'm leaning towards a no, and I'll explain why in my tough call. But I'm starting to edge towards a no with that deal.
Yeah, Charlie Curnow, Jimmy, I think he'll be a Sydney Swans, and I really look forward to seeing how that deal evolves over the next 24 hours.
I think Christian Petrarca gets done, but I'm surprised it hasn't been done already. Clayton Oliver, I think, gets done as well, Lloydie. Let's have a quick discussion. Jordan Goey, this is a fascinating one. We all thought, hang on, his name hasn't been mentioned, but then in the last 48 hours, there's a bit more talk. Why would his name be up?
I think Collingwood would think to themselves, how many games a year do we get out of Jordan De Goey for the talent that he has, the productivity? Where's his best and fairest results? Let's take a look at them. How many All-Australians? So for what he's probably being paid, he hasn't produced. So I think if a club was willing to take him, you take his salary off the books and it could free them up to do some things. But I haven't heard any club linked to him, which might be telling you that he stays at Collingwood.
Yeah, and he's a bit of a fan favourite there for the Pies. Jai Simpkin, I think, is a big no. I think a lot of clubs look at his salary and the fact that he wants to play inside mid and the Kangaroos don't see him as that is a bit telling. We expect Jamari Ugle-Hagan will get done.
Yeah, he'll get done. And then Sarong will get done to Hawthorn. Buller will get done to Collingwood, you would think. Buderick will get done to the Bulldogs.
Yep, Sarong up there to the Swans, the Hawker, of course, and Buderick as a small back. Time for our tough calls. Thanks to Grunt. No matter what you do it with Grunt. There's nothing tougher. Available exclusive at Bunnings. I think we're pretty similar with our tough call here, Lloydie. So we'll lump it in. I think we both agree Hawthorn need to make a tough call on a different player, and maybe it might be additional to Henry Huswaite as well, who we highlight has got some talent, but he just can't break in at the moment. You think there needs to be, and I agree with you on this, so we both agree, a best 15 player from the Hawks Merritt deal. So if we're to play this out a little bit, let's just go through their untouchables. So Bidet, Weddle, Newcomb, or Barras, and Battle, because clearly they just got them in for a reason. Watson,
yeah.
Sicily.
Yeah. Moore, is he in that or for you or not? I think he's highly regarded, vice captain.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That only leaves 7 players left in their best 15 that play, as in Deer. Do you reckon Deer's?
He wouldn't be in their best 15 now, but that's the type of player that, say, Mitch Lewis, Deer, and Chol. You've got Connor McDonald, and Ward and McKenzie. So they're the ones that excite me. Say if I'm putting the bomber hat on, they're Deer, McDonald, Ward, McKenzie. That's the type of player that would, I think, get this deal done.
And Hawthorn don't want to let them go because they're part. Well, actually, we didn't even mention Amon and
Scrimshaw.
And Scrimshaw.
Yeah. Age-wise, not sure. Yeah.
So it'd have to come out of that group, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Which I don't see those players wanting to
just
leave.
because the Bombers are, no one sees them challenging for the finals for a period of time. So with where they're going, their draft hand of pick 5 and 6, Merritt goes, you get pick 9. So 5, 6, 9. There's no point taking an older player. You want someone who can rise with you over the next 5 years to help you win a flag.
You wonder if another club comes into play to get this deal done, because you can imagine they'd be wanting one of that group that we highlighted. And I don't think any of that group want to go just yet to the Bombers because they see what's happening at Hawthorn, and Hawthorn will want to hang on to them. It'll be a frantic period, Lloydie. I know after 2 o'clock tomorrow when all the deals start coming in, there might be some deals done now, but the AFL has held them back. So make sure you join us tomorrow for a full wrap and insight into the last day of the 2025 trade period for Tyre Power's Great Race Sale. Buy 3, get 1 free on selected Curnow passenger car and SUV tyres. Thanks as always, Lloydie.
Thanks, Jim.